former captains of the SA women's team. And she always said, when we come out, they should be fighting people. So I know you said that. But actually,
No. Yeah.
yeah.
No, thank you very much for hosting.
Oh, bantu abadala ngicela nisibonise indlela yabona kumnyama kuyathusa thina soyikulahleka bantu abadala ngicela nisibonise indlela yabona
Good day, guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Archie. So Archie, thank you very much for watching and being with us today. As I have promised you that our very first guest will be none other than the athlete herself, the beautiful Charne Maddocks. I'm not gonna say a lot about her. We will be talking about her. This is about her. This is about the show, Kasi Insights. This is about all of us. Excuse the sponsor here. It's getting things going and all that. So, nonetheless, those who are returning subscribers, thank you for trusting us, and those who are the first timers here, kindly subscribe, like, comment, and then so that hit the notification button so that we can notify you the next time we host another person. Okay, so let's start this. It's not about me. Let it not be about me. Well, I'm shy. That's why I'm wearing shades. I think I look cool with shades. Let's get to it. Charne Maddocks. Well, the show is basically it's Kasi Insights. So it's everything that has to do with everyone from Kasi. Why you? Why you is because I know you will uplift a lot of young ladies, a lot of young people living in Ikageng, living in Potchefstroom, and every other Kasi that might be watching our show. So that's why you are the first, and I trust with this a lot of people's lives will definitely change. We know the name Charne Maddocks. Am I pronouncing it well?
No, you're pronouncing it wrong. Maddox with the S at the end.
Oh, it is an S.
Yes.
But you got it, guys. You got it. Charne, can you please kindly just a short intro? Well, it can be long, it's fine. But just tell us about Charne. Who's Charne?
So, like you all heard, my name is Charne Maddocks. I am 23 years old. I am currently studying in Potchefstroom. I just currently finished off my B.Ed honors degree in special needs, and I'm actually from Kimberly, from the Northern Cape, also very small province. And yes, right now I'm in Potchefstroom and I'm just pursuing every dream possible. As Archie has mentioned, I think probably why I'm out here is that I've also taken my sport quite seriously. So I've lately just represented South Africa at the Olympic Games for hockey. And right now I'm just enjoying what I'm basically doing, and that's what I am loving out to do. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Oh, that's cool. Well, firstly, I would like you to take us back to your primary level, your little girl self. I don't know how were you, but yeah, we would like to know that because of it's from there where we decide what's gonna happen, where we think or where we shape our lives to see where we're actually going. So maybe you were a naughty girl, and then so we need to understand that our little sisters or our daughters are naughty, but maybe we might do something to shape them up once
Yeah,
getting
I think
into.
also that's why I pursued my career in special needs. Like you said, little naughty girl. I don't think that's what we just call children naughty. I think that's the easy way out to just calling them naughty. But yes, I attended primary school at Western Primary School in Kimberly. It all started off as a little girl, really thin, just like weighing like probably like 20 kgs in grade 1. I just remember my parents always having the biggest problems with me also in grade 1. My school teacher always having the need that I'm too fast in class. I just want to finish quickly. I'm not doing my work correctly. So yes, I wouldn't say that it was all smooth sailing from the age of 6 years, 7 years old. But definitely I think that as a youngster, that is what you need in your life to actually realize where you're coming from. And I don't think that I would want to change anything. That was a learning curve in my life. Somehow it was a lesson. So yes, I wasn't the perfect little girl. I was quite naughty, energetic. I could not sit still at all. I was not diagnosed with ADHD, but my parents believed that I had ADHD. My teachers complained a lot. My grade 1 teacher complained a lot about me being fast or being the quickest one to finish in the worksheets and so on. That they didn't really see me succeeding to grade 2 or succeeding my high school or primary school career. So yes, that was me at primary school. However, I did do lots of sports. I took part in cricket, hockey, athletics, swimming, tennis. And I think that's probably how my parents tried to keep me busy and to be tired when I get home after school. And I think that was probably the best decision that I could have ever made. And I was quite fond about playing sport, and I think that was running in the family as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned ADHD. Well, I don't know what it is, but honestly, there is a person that I will be interviewing very soon who will be giving education about who will educate a lot of people about ADHD and how to handle children with ADHD. I will be having her name is Kifilo. She came forth. She brought herself up that she would like to talk about that. So while you guys keep on watching the show, definitely you will learn. You will know what ADHD is and how to treat a child. I don't know if it's a serious what, but we'll get
Disorder.
we'll get to see
Yes.
that. We'll get that when we get there. You were the fastest learner.
I
With
wouldn't say
finishing
fastest
work.
learner, but more like I just wanted to finish the work
and
so I can
leave.
just move on.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
to
feel you.
leave. Yeah.
But were you in were you partaking in athletics, maybe running and
Yes.
so forth?
That was actually the two sports I pursued the most, was athletics and hockey. I think somewhere in high school at the age of 16 I had to obviously choose between the two. I think that was like also one of my biggest decisions in my life as a 16-year-old that I had to
Yeah.
make. But yeah, I was quite fond of athletics as well.
Well, okay. Athletics. They brought. I want to know in primary were you running the? Because I want to know if you were the fastest girl
I
or
would
you were
say
fast.
nah, I wasn't the fastest
Yeah.
because I was participating like 80 meters, 60 meters,
Yes, yes.
and that wasn't my strength. I realized like once I got older that my strength was more like long distance.
Long distance.
So I wouldn't say I was the fastest, not at all. So I think it was more like the mentality of just finishing the work, moving on, or just to playing around in class, like
Yeah.
just to get the work done.
Well, because I know how funny it is to watch a little girl being the last in the track while they're running.
Yeah.
I know how funny it is. So special needs. You are. Well, it's fine. Let's go to high school. Let's rather go to high school. We'll get to your current qualification.
Yeah.
Surely we will once I leave here, I'll have information on what special needs and everything is about or what's going on there. So high school, and were you dating in primary?
Excuse
Oh,
me?
there was a boy in primary.
No, I don't think primary school was like, you probably had like you thought you were in love or you liked someone, but those were like Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
You tried to
yeah.
sneak a little present or something in, but nah, not at all.
Have you ever got a letter? A love
Yeah,
letter?
I think I got a few, but nothing serious.
Yeah.
They're all my friends now, so just more like friendship.
I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel you. I feel you. So, high school. Where did you did talk about primary where you were
Yeah,
from?
at high school, I attended Northern Cape High School as well in Kimberley. Funny story is I got quite a few scholarships to leave Kimberley, the opportunity to fulfill hockey in a different province. So hockey in Kimberley is really small. We play B section, so we don't really have the necessary exposure to like essays and going to like the necessary big tournaments where you're recognized to play bigger, like making your A teams and stuff. So I got a few scholarships, a few offers. I actually went to UNICE in Bloem for like a day or two just to see how it is there. And however, I decided to go back home. I think financially, it would have been quite a strain on my parents, and it wasn't like worth it for me. So I went back to Kimberley, hoping for the best. That you know what, I always say to myself that I'm gonna be that change in my province. That I will be the first person to make it for myself. So I went back in like I was 15 years old, so I did not take the necessary scholarships that was offered to me. I think Johannesburg was the biggest offer at Bellew College, where my dad said, "No, you're not going there," because I think he has like a personal vendetta. I would say not vendetta, but more like Johannesburg itself.
Yeah, yeah.
He personally dispersed that place, so he felt that he's signing my life away once I enter that place. So I had other choice. You know what? Maybe I should just make it myself in Kimberley. So I then fulfilled my high school career and I stayed at Northern Cape High School. So yeah, I finished off and I matriculated at high school. Believe it or not, in my matric year, I made the SAB team, which was quite an achievement for me because I never thought that it would have been possible in the province that I am.
With the scholarship, you were deciding all of these things when you were 14 and 15.
Yeah.
You were deciding all of, I want to go there, I'm getting this.
Yeah.
So, okay. Your first scholarship, which grade were you doing?
My first scholarship was grade 9 to UNICE in Bloemfontein, which was quite like, it was around the corner from home. I had family members there, and my older brother was actually studying in Bloemfontein at that time. So that was my first scholarship, but however, yeah, it wasn't for me to be away from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's me. I've had job offers outside Potchefstroom. I've never taken them. I love home, but I think it's because of my parents are old, so I always wanted to spend all the time with them.
I think that's also one thing about me. Family is number one.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big family person.
Yeah. Nah,
So,
that's great. That's great. Grade 9. So
Yeah.
you were doing all those
subject choices and yeah.
When did the hockey thing start? Actually, was it in primary? Maybe grade 7, grade 6 after.
I would say that was like grade 6. It started like becoming,
Yeah.
but it was more like just the love of the sport because I had both parents involved in sport. My older brother as well. Both like always. I basically grew up next to a hockey field.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was more like just the love for the game. I think in grade 6 I made my first provincial team, so it was really nice to actually tour for the first time. I mean, 12 years old, you're leaving your mother's house, you're going with a bunch of friends. It's quite fun just having some time out from home, like, that was nice for me, just being able to express myself on a different type of way, besides sitting at school, in a day school, being at home, like, I think sport is just a different type of way that each individual sports, I think that can express himself without having words to say. So for me, that was more like the best part for me was when I got to do it at a different level, not a school level, now it's provincial level. And once that happened, actually the school in Kimberley, the Northern Cape High School, offered me also a scholarship, which I then took for grade 8. I also could attend school for free, and I think every parent at that point in time in their life wouldn't want their child to would want their child to not be able to pay school fees.
Yes.
So I took that opportunity, and I think I carried on pursuing the whole hockey thing. My love for the game became stronger, and like I mentioned, I had an older brother, or I have an older brother, that just loves, he's like a hockey fanatic.
Yeah.
So it was like not even a question for me to love the sport.
It means, well, you're big, man. You're big. Grade 6 already. You're getting your offers. Yeah. Well, on my research, I saw your brother. So you guys are you were 12, yeah, and he was 12 in the national team. I saw his name. Well, his handle is underscore 12, and then yours is underscore 12.
So yeah, funny story is once I started my Instagram handle, I didn't know much about Instagram handles, right?
Yeah.
So he's actually like one of my biggest inspirations. So for me, that was just a follower thing. Like I just followed in the steps of underscore 12. I actually don't even know why the underscore 12. I know why the 12 was there because of his personal reasons, but I don't know exactly why. However, his national number is not 12, but I know like why specifically 12. And yeah, so for me it was more like I look up to him and he's a role model in my eyes, and I just followed. So that was it.
Yeah. Oh well. I'll get to your brother and you being wearing national color as well. Hence, I'm saying you're big, man. You're big. We're talking about South Africa. You are recognized nationally. Wow, that's big. But so all these they came while you were still at school. At school. How who were you? How were you at your high school level? Because well, in my case, if you play soccer, even if you play around, you are popular. They know you if you're a good player already. But for you to go to the national level and have to come back to school, how was the environment? How were people? Okay, maybe they were used to it because grade 6, like they know you already. There's this lady. Sorry, but how was the environment? How was everyone at school? I mean, you were in grade 10, and then you are this person. How was that person who's in grade 12 think, or what were they thinking of you?
So I don't think like personally, like I think because of hockey being like not that recognized in South Africa, obviously it's not a professional sport. It wasn't such a major thing. So being offered a scholarship was highly unlikely to be like this major thing in people's eyes. For you as an individual, you've reached a milestone, but in the next person's eyes, it's not a milestone. So when I eventually like got my first made it into my first national team, or not national, like make it into the under 18B team, that was only in my matric year. Then only the environment I was in suddenly changed.
Oh yeah.
Because like for the last 4 to 5 years of your high school, from your primary grade 7 year, like that's your prime year, from your grade 7 year until your matric year. That's when you actually like try and work yourself into getting from grade 7 into grade 8. You need to work for scholarship because that makes life easier. Then obviously from matric you need to work yourself into tertiary institution, also on a scholarship, because it makes life easier for yourself and for your parents, and it benefits you for education. So I think personally the environment around me, I would say my support system was probably the most excited, and they were more like seeing it as this big achievement. But people that doesn't really have insight to what you've gone through, what the process is actually to where you are and where you have been, they don't really understand it. So it was never a thing of treating you different or seeing you differently. I think once I've reached the benchmark at high school in my matric year, where I made the under 18B team, where I've traveled to Netherlands to be able to go and play hockey abroad, where I made the Premier Hockey League, which then changed things a bit differently. So that was the first year, that Premier Hockey League, I don't know if you know about that, but that was the first year that hockey got some sort of exposure where finances were part of it, where you actually got paid to play, where you got the necessary exposure on television, where it worked basically like the draft, where all players from South Africa was in a draft, and you got drafted into different teams, and you played for different franchise, and that's how you generated different type of hockey, different type of players, coaching staff. So that made the hockey community a bit different, and it made it a bit like you could grow as an individual. So I would say that could have changed the environment and the way people would have seen and pursued and like try to understand your circumstances. But before that, it was all normal, just all general talk, and it was just plain old hockey talks. And only hockey friends would understand because, I mean, they go through the same.
So, well, I wanna know if you were busy. Like, today you have to travel there, and then you're gonna skip schoolwork and. Well, not schoolwork, basically. Maybe they would send it to you. And
is that
you're
referring to high school?
Yes, we're still there.
Oh.
And then, lastly, let me ask, Since while it's in high school, where was there a time where you had to come to school with a national color or something? Yeah, because it was in matric.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was quite a challenge. I would really say. I think one thing that stuck to me was that my dad actually believed that my matric year I would fail, because I think that I've accomplished everything in my matric year on my hockey side, like that I've been working so hard for my sport, and that finally I've achieved it like during my matric year, and that was the most important year for me also to go to varsity. So yes, for sure, there was academically implications. I've missed tests. I know I could remember clearly that I had to leave for Netherlands a day after my matric ball. I left to Netherlands. I had to come back, and it was the day of, like you were saying, the national. I had to have to come with my national clothes to school, but that was more like I just arrived in South Africa, and that was the day of my white blazer ceremony, my honors blazer. So yes, it was quite difficult, but I think that my support system was incredible. I had parents, or I have parents that really support me 100%. And I think as well at my school, at Northern Cape High School, I had the best coaches, as well as teachers that, okay, they're no longer there, but they really like supported me in every way possible.
Yeah.
I know I had a chat with one of my economics teachers the day before I left to Netherlands, and she said to me, you know what, Charne, I'm quite worried about your academics. And I think that is one thing about us youngsters, is that once we start accomplishing in our sport, we kind of start forgetting about our academics. And that's one thing for me, 100%, is that my sport is definitely not professional. I do not get paid to do hockey.
Okay.
And yet you forget that my academics and my education needs to get me still somewhere.
Yeah.
In my life, I still need to be able to build a career and be able to put bread and butter on the table. So I think we need to find that balance. And I think that was the hardest time of my life and most difficult time, that in my matric year I had to find the balance between making it big for me in my hockey career and actually passing matric to go to varsity.
Yeah.
And it might have sounded really small. It sounds now small, but at that point, as an 18-year-old, you need to make that biggest decision of your life, that am I going to go pursue in Netherlands what I've always wanted, because I think every hockey player's dream is to play in Netherlands hockey, because hockey is big in Netherlands, so you're ranked number one. Or am I going to stay behind and try and study? Although I'm going to try and study, I'm still not going to make it, because my mind is going to be, but what if I could have, I should have. So I think just finding that priority and balancing it out was for me the biggest priority I could have ever managed. And I think having the biggest support system that I had, it was possible to do so.
Well, this is this is honestly, I never expected this. I thought now we would have skipped the high school life. Maybe you were only passionate about hockey once you got here and all that.
Oh.
But this is big. Yeah, well, I like it already. How many countries have you traveled to?
So I've only literally traveled to 2 countries before, and that's been Netherlands and Japan.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. No, I see your. Well, okay. I think I got where the love of hockey is from. Well, sports and family and everyone.
Yes.
Well, I think I'll be my son. I'll be very supportive to my son. My son, I'm taking you far. You should go to Japan. Yeah. So now we go past matric. You were dating already, right? I'm sure you were dating your current boyfriend.
Oh no. I only met him here at varsity.
Oh yeah. So okay. So did you have a boyfriend at the time? And like, the reason why I'm asking, I just want to know, and the management of time was.
Yeah, I did have a boyfriend. I did go through heartbreak at that time as well, and I think that is society for today's life. And I think we tend to go away from it, because we only want to see the love life of it and the nice part of it and being loved and whatever, and not being rejected. But I think that you should always put yourself first and happiness first, because you won't be able to just pursue your dreams and your career choices because of others and standing in your way. So yes, I did have someone. He is my friend currently now, but it was a lesson more than anything, for sure.
So someone once broke your heart.
Yes, my heart's been broken many times. For sure.
Oh, there are people who are breaking Shanae's hearts out here.
Yeah, for sure.
No, no, I understand. What in high school and primary school, what do you think was your highlight? What maybe making it to the B of the national, but maybe
Yeah, I
something
think
else. But
primary
just
school.
one thing that was
Primary school, my highlight was that I was actually able to play like from the age of 11. I played at the level of under 13s,
yeah.
and I think at high school, my highlight was being able to travel to Netherlands with my brother.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Definitely, yeah.
Fast forward to university. When did you start here, or was it because you can do honors here, but you only did your degree somewhere else?
Yeah, no,
With you?
I started with varsity in 2017. I started
Mm.
with my B.Ed foundation degree here at the varsity. So I've been here for 5 years already.
For 5 years.
Yes, quite a lifetime, but okay, I'm a fossil already, but it's okay. So yes, I started in 2017, pursuing in B.Ed foundation phase. However, the Northwest University was never a choice.
Oh yeah? Okay.
That was also by faith and by probably God's plans how I ended up here.
Yeah.
I never ever thought that I would actually end up here, and I think that's one thing that I believe that our God sent me this way, and this is His path for me. I can understand it now. So my plans always to go over to University of Johannesburg because they were the only varsity that actually offered me a scholarship or bursary.
Oh yeah.
Like I mentioned previously, like that's what you pursue and that's what you try and do, because I think as a sportswoman or sportsman, you know how expensive it can get, and that you also want to like make the financial burden a little bit less on your parents. So the University of Johannesburg offered me a bursary, and I was heading that way. I think like applications had closed already at the university, and the management here approached my parents and they asked me, listen, just apply, you never know, whatever.
Yeah.
And with God's grace, I got into it. I got into the course that I wanted to study as well. And yeah, I'm sitting now, currently in my 5th year, God willingly, passing in 2 weeks' time, getting my results, hoping to graduate for my special needs degree, which would be quite amazing,
Yeah.
I should say. And I do not regret one bit coming to the Northwest University. I think it was one of my best decisions that I've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
I think the family that I've made here has been really wonderful, because I don't think I would have been here where I am right now in my life if it wasn't for them. I think it was quite challenging, but yet it was very successful.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So schools wanted you so they you see the current school talk to your parents.
Yes.
So schools wanted.
I would say schools, like I had UJ that really wanted me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think Northwest University was just more convincing to the parents. But I think
Yes.
it was more because my dad didn't want me in Johannesburg, like I mentioned.
Johannesburg,
So
yeah.
I think any university could have come along and convinced him differently. So
I'd like to thank Northwest University. I don't think we would be having this interview. She would have been far away. So 5 years, yeah. Well, I was working. I started working in 2016. I hope that does not expose my age, but I started working 2016. Grade 12, past grade 12, then you came here, and then all those great things happened. And with the selection, when you were coming, when the school was talking to your parents, they knew you already for hockey. They wanted you for hockey.
yes, they spoke to my parents at the interprovincial tournament. Like
Oh,
that
yeah?
was like a tournament that we all the under 18s of the province come together and they play a tournament.
Yeah.
Like so that's where they like go and scout players. So that's where they spoke to my parents basically.
Ah, that's
So
cool.
yes, so basically it was for hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I don't know who's watching here, but you the person who's watching here, you might have a little sister and a little brother. I think you might want to say something to your little brother as a guidance from primary, even if they're in high school. It'll never be too late. It'll never be too late. Let them pursue whatever. If you see your child now, or your little brother, or whoever has like a piano on their phone, always playing piano, even though it does not make sense, help them to grow there. I think that's where we get our talents from. Well, I've always known I was born for this. I just didn't have the right exposure. I had, honestly, I had people, like I had like friends who were like, "Did you see the Hectic 99? Something,
Yes.
do that," and that was only because of my voice. They didn't know that I could try and do this, and
Okay.
I'm not perfect.
But it's
I
never
still,
too late, so
yeah. Well, I've never wanted Joburg to. That's why. I love
Yeah.
Porch. I want to grow in Porch. That's why I'm doing all this. I don't
that's
want to
good,
live in
yeah.
Joburg and then leave. And I don't want to be. I don't
Yeah.
want to be better. I'm fine. I don't. I think people get too. They don't. I wouldn't be as humbled as I am today.
I
to
agree
people
with you
that I
full
can-
on, like,
you
yes.
understand?
Yeah.
So selection to Japan. Now you're in Northwest University. They've already known you. Yeah, you are even the captain. She didn't say that. So she didn't say that. She's the captain. She's the captain, and yeah. So she's in the Northwest University. I think they already knew that this one should something. She's gonna be our captain, and we're gonna put her there so that the whoever the Proteas or whatever the hockey ladies hockey, they will see her and all that. How do you guys have trials, or how does the selection process?
So, like I
happen?
explained, the interprovincial tournament. So there's an interprovincial tournament for like senior ladies as well. So
Yeah.
it's basically your different provinces come together, and you all compete with each other. And basically from there you've got your selectors, your convener, selector, and your head coach there at the tournament. So how the Olympic selection worked, we had a tournament, I think in 2019, we had a tournament in Bloemfontein in the Free State. There was then a squad chosen of 45 if I'm not mistaken. And then from that, we were all invited for selection camp. So then obviously we all went for selection camp. Unfortunately, due to COVID, everything had to stop. So that was a bit of, I think, demotivation, I think, for each and every sportswoman or sportsman out there. So yeah, for me, funny enough, I actually mentioned this to one of my friends last night, that for me that COVID thing hit, and I was like, you know what, that's me. Like, I'm done with sport. I'm done. I'll come back, as in this year I'm coming back to varsity to enjoy my varsity lifestyle, because I've never, in my 4 years of being at varsity, I've never like just been just a normal student. I've always been a student athlete, and I think that's like super harsh, because you're always just focusing on your studies and being an athlete. It's never like your social life is nowhere. And I think that your little friends that you have is always your friends from your sporting group. It's always your hockey friends in my perspective. I had my first year in hostel, so I got like 2 or 3 new friends from there, and my friends probably grew from there, but they could never understand why you can't make certain events. So social life was never a thing for me. So I felt like, you know what, 2021, that's my year to actually like go out there, just like, you know, fulfill my social life, where I actually drew up a bucket list, and I'm actually gonna fulfill Poch, like do things, because I've always heard people speak about certain things they've done in Poch, and I'll just be like, I've been in Poch for 3 years now, but I don't know where that is. So I would like to do that. So then COVID hit, and then I actually, believe it or not, I decided, you know what, I'm done pursuing this hockey thing. Like, I'm done. And I think many of us has felt like a little patch in your life where you just don't want to continue with anything anymore, and that you just want to like just screw up everything, and you want to do what you want to do. And I think that was me in the whole COVID thing last year. And I was home for a while, and I think it took me about a month to realize And that came from like a little bit of pressure from my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I think every morning at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, he'd like punch me, come, let's go. And I'd be like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I said I'm done with this. I don't want to do it. He punched me every morning. And I think until I failed my first fitness test, going into the reselection of the 44, we need to go back into camp now because Olympics is happening again.
Mm-hmm.
And I failed my first fitness test and I realized, damn, this is actually reality again. So it took me quite a lot before I realized that this is actually a dream that I can pursue. And secondly, that I can actually do something that is inevitable for everyone else. So it took a lot of challenges for myself to get up every morning to do a fitness test, to try and do fitness in harsh circumstances. And I think that coming from Kimberly, like I mentioned, I did not have the necessary facilities that I have here in Potch when I can get up in the morning and just go to an AstroTurf and just go and run. I had to make necessary arrangements. I need to get there. And I think in the world we are living today as well, that it's not even safe for a female just to get up and go jog. So I first need to also get a crowd to get jogging with me. I need to ask my brother, listen, you may want to jog with me tomorrow morning. And I think at that point in time that he was so fed up because he had asked me to come and I didn't want to come. Now I'm asking him and he's like, nah, you had your chance and you didn't want to come and I asked you.
Yeah.
So I think, like I said to one of my friends, that COVID has been a blessing in disguise for me. I think I got to realize that although I lost a lot of people with it, I think I had a silver lining to it because I got to realize that I got to gain the passion and the love for the sport again because I started missing that. So after the whole COVID thing hit, the squad of 44 got regrouped and we had to do a fitness test. But if you failed the fitness test, you got sent home.
Yeah.
So I had about a month and a half to hit the standards for my fitness test. And I think that month and a half was mentally like one of the toughest things ever. And I think something that we're quite afraid of speaking as sportswomen and sportsmen is mental health. And I think that is personally me speaking. I've had that patch in my life. I've come out of a depression phase as well because of sports, social life, and academics. And I'm proud to say that I'm busy. I'm a survivor of it, and I am overcoming that whole thing as well. So all that has happened, and I came out and I passed my fitness test, and we were down to like I think 26. And then from 26 we had to go to 19. Wow. And then from 19 we were only chosen 16 to go to the Olympics, and I was fortunate enough to be part of that 16 to be chosen to go to the Olympics.
That's great, man.
Yeah. That's
great. But one thing I think your brother did, it's great. Your brother did a great thing. You might do it without realizing that I am picking this lady because I see potential of an Olympic athlete here. It might be just let's go and get fit with whatever that we've loved. You understand?
Yeah.
So I honestly like that. And then you ended up being chosen and being in the top 16.
I think it was more like a thing that I think like his mental capacity of my brother's been in and out of the indoor and outdoor setup of South African hockey as well. So for him it was that he wasn't part of the 44 group to make it into the men's squad. So he felt that I had the opportunity, but yet I always said that, he always tells me that I should never use my circumstances as an excuse. And yet I'm also the one to say that, but look at me now. I have the excuse of, I'm not going to make it anyway, they're doing this and it's COVID and whatever. And he knows that I've got the potential to be able to do it. And for him, it was quite frustrating and disappointing to see that I'm letting myself down. So yes, for sure, one thing about him, he believes in me. And I think that that's one incredible thing, that although he didn't make it or he wasn't part of the squad, he felt that I'm capable of doing it. The little he can do it by supporting me and pushing me to go the extra 1%.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm definitely sure. He's still proud till today. He's still proud.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. That's good. Let's talk about the. Now we are in Japan, right? And then there's a flag barrier, and then we walk behind as South Africans wearing. What were you guys wearing? The zebra thing with the fellies. It looked cool. honestly, it was unique for me. I loved it. Well, I love Felix. It's just that, well, I always wear Felix. So that was cool, man. I loved that. I want to talk about it. Now you're in Japan. How does it feel that you are here for the country? You are here to do this and represent the country. And today, today is the open day, and take us through the feeling. You know, South Africans back at home are watching you. You know, the whole Kimberly is watching you. Definitely, Northwest, we are watching you. I think that's how I got through to know you through these Olympics when you came over to where I work. So take us through that, knowing that people are watching me, and this is the day that this is what I came from. This is for. I mean, this is the open day.
So unfortunately,
Sorry.
was the opening day that as the SA women's team, the hockey team, we had made a decision as a team that we do not attend the opening day.
Okay.
So yeah, it was quite a bittersweet moment for us as all of us as the 16 that was there, that only one of the 16 has already attended an Olympics.
Oh,
So it was
yeah.
quite an amazing opportunity, and it was something that you want to live for, and that is something you'd like to experience. But we were basically there to compete in the Olympics tournament, to play hockey, and the next day was our first match.
Oh yeah.
So we had to strategically make an important decision, because going to the opening meant that we had to be like 6-7 hours on our feet. Could end up to being 9 to 10 hours on our feet, and the next day we had to go and compete, and we had to play against Ireland. So we basically had a team decision that recovery and rest would be more important, and I think that our nation would be more proud of us if we had to go out in that field and compete as a team and, you know, carry the flag up high. So yes, we as the hockey team, we were fortunate enough to have one of the flag bearers, our vice captain.
Yeah.
She was the flag bearer, and she was representing all of us, and I think not just South Africa, but representing us as the hockey ladies. So yes, that was unfortunate for us. However, we still were in the vibe. We still all had dressed up in our zebra outfits, and we still had put on our fellies. We still took a few pictures, and we still felt the vibe of South Africans. So yes, for sure, like you said, it was nice, it was cool, but unfortunate that we could not be there ourselves to experience it. But yes, that was what we did.
Surely, from the previous Olympics and all that, you've always maybe watched and saw the likes of Chadwick Law. Was there a time where you were closer to him and all that? Or anyone? Could be Tatiana, maybe. Yeah, because Tatiana, I only got to know her through the
Olympics. So
yes.
yeah, I think that out of our South African stars, like the medalists especially,
Yes.
that one thing I know that, or what I've learned from them, that everyone is quite humble and a person's person, that making conversation and actually speaking to the person without knowing the achievement. I think like Tatiana, for example, speaking to her before even like receiving the medal, like before even competing, it's about getting to know the person before the medal, I think, personally. So yes, I think that is quite amazing thing, I think, about South Africans. We're quite diverse and a big group of people that is just able to chat and to get to know one another. Because I think personally, I am an introvert, but once I get comfortable in a situation, I'll start talking. So yes, with Olympics, I got to meet a lot of new people. And when I say new people, not specifically from other countries, but from our own country. I got to speak to quite a lot of athletes like Tapelo, them. I think those guys that I've never knew about them actually. And now all of a sudden, like, I'm actually out there waiting to see the bigger picture of them, waiting to see what the future upholds for them, for all these future athletes, these stars. Like, I mean, Wade van Niekerk. It's quite amazing to see how humble everyone is. And not the likes of, always I know social media can sometimes just blow things out of proportion. But I think for sure that I've learned quite a few things from being in company of such big stars. Yeah.
Well, I've seen, I've watched y'all, you guys. I've seen you sing. You, you guys sang with passion, but I couldn't hear. I was wondering how are you singing? Do you know how to sing?
How to say?
To sing.
To sing.
Yeah, because I've seen you in courses.
I don't think like it's personally about right there standing and you being the world's best artist, having
Yeah, I
the best
understand.
vocals. I think you're standing there and you're singing with passion and pride for your country. And I think like I can't sing at all. Like my vocals are like broken. Like
Yeah.
I would never be able to sing. But when I'm standing there, I believe I'm the best singer that you'll ever find because standing there and singing with passion and pride for your country is something amazing. And it's a feeling that you'll never be able to describe unless you're standing there and before a game, and
Yeah.
it's just it's amazing.
So anything you've tried in Japan, maybe after the games or before, anything that's wow that you think you've tried? It could be food, it could be anything.
So no, definitely I would never have tried food for the first time because you never know how that would react. And I think when you're in tournament, would you really want to sit with food poisoning or something like that? I wouldn't say personally tried anything new, but I think the culture, like folding of the little handbags with cloths and stuff, and I think just generally like the people, like Japanese people are really kind people. I think like humanity itself is incredible, and the way they do things like recycling, they're really big on recycling. I think that's one thing we as South Africans can actually learn is recycling. But I wouldn't say that I've really tried something extraordinary that I would definitely want to bring to South African. But however, there was like this dried prunes that's almost like a China fruit type of thing in South Africa that I found like really delicious. So
you were injured not so long ago. Well, what happened? Wow, you were injured and you were already back from Japan, and you were now back. Yeah.
For sure. I came back from Japan. I think I took a rest of 4 weeks, took rest. Joined the Northwest University first team back into league. My first game back into league playing against Phoenix in Pretoria. About first quarter into the game, I fell. I fell on my ankle, had a high ankle sprain known as syndesmosis injury. That's tore all my ligaments in my ankle and I had to go for an operation. So I went for operation I think around about the 10th of September. So I'm currently like now as we speak 2 months and a few weeks after that. So I'm still currently out from hockey like we're speaking now.
Okay.
I'm still not back onto the hockey field. I'm busy with rehab. I'm doing rehab every day. I think that was probably the most emotional time of my life because I think coming back from the Olympics, being at your peak, you just played at the world's biggest platform that your career could have been. It's been my debut and I felt that I was at peak. Coming back from there, playing my first game for my varsity, and I felt that everything was getting back together. We were just really prepping for the USA tournament, and all of a sudden I'm injured. I think everyone was hoping, and I think I was also telling myself that it's just 4 weeks, just resting, whatever. It's not operation. I think even the physio was like, man, it's okay. 4 weeks. We were really hoping 4 weeks. The way everything happened was really, really quick. One day I went in for a sauna, the next day I went for MRI, the next day I got operated. So yes, it took quite long for me to accept the fact that I'm injured, that I'm not playing anymore. It took really a lot out of me to see my team going on tournaments, being able to play, and me just sitting on the sideline and not being able to participate. And I think that took a lot out of me because I could not carry over anything. I could not participate. I was literally useless. And for me, I was really gutted, and I woke up every day feeling that, you know what, maybe it was a dream. Maybe I can just get up and walk. But yes, that's almost done now. I got 3 to 4 weeks left before I can start playing hockey again. And then hopefully from there, I can still pursue and work hard for World Cup. So
no, that's good. We'll be seeing you in January, sure. Next year. I think we almost came to the end of our beautiful show. Charne has a friend here. She's from Cape Town. She just arrived. I'm still in daytime, guys. I'm still in daytime. So I'm just gonna wrap up with quick top 10 quick 10 top 10 quick whatever questions. Just 10. She'll just have to answer them. Then we'll be wrapping up so that I can leave them to having daytime. So yeah, Shane, what movies? Oh, which movies can you like watch over and over without getting tired? It could be one movie.
There was the one is like I hate movies.
Yeah, so you're not a movie person.
I'm not really a movie person, so I don't really like watch movies, but
It's Hocky, guys. She can watch.
yeah.
She can
I
watch
suppose,
Hocky.
I suppose, but
Have you watched yourself like
nah, that's just not something I do. But a movie that I really like is Me Before You.
Me before
Yeah.
you? So you would
I'll
watch
watch
it.
it
You
and
know
I'll
it.
cry every time. Yeah,
Why cry? What's the
because it's a really cool movie. Maybe you should watch it. Then you let me know about it. So,
The name again?
Me Before You.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
No problem. When did something start out badly for you, but in the end it was great?
after this COVID situation, like it started
Oh,
out
yeah.
really badly, and the
Yeah,
silver
you did say.
lining
Yeah.
was basically
What's that one thing that will always be in fashion, no matter how much time pass for you?
in fashion.
Yeah.
I think my hairstyle, you know,
Yeah.
the curly hairstyle, frizz look or going straight, like that will never go out of fashion. I can only do that. There's
Yeah.
nothing else I can do. So definitely I'll say my hairstyle.
An all-star, guys. All-star never. Never. And beverage never. Well, this is not beverage. It's Powerade Mountain Blacks. So yeah. Have you ever tried pranking anyone and it went bad?
Now I'm a prank master, so
It always
definitely
do.
definitely got
Maybe
bad.
this is a prank. Maybe she's pranking me with this.
Like,
guys.
you never know, but yeah,
Nah, for you.
my prank game is too good. I haven't, it hasn't gone bad yet.
They go bad sometimes.
Sometimes they can, but
Yo,
my
I'm
pranks
talking
haven't.
about me. My pranks sometimes never go right. They go right,
Oh, okay.
and I'm the only one who finds it funny.
Oh,
It's
okay.
fine. Yeah. Who do you go? Who do you go out of? Okay. Who do you go out of your way to be nice to?
So unfortunately, that's like one of my characteristics that I hate, because that's what I would do for anyone and everyone in
Yeah.
my life. Specific in my life that I would go like or try to be nice to. I think that in general, I try to be nice to everyone in my
everyone.
life. Yeah.
Who's your favorite, mom or dad?
That's why that's not personal at all. I think they both play a different role.
Who's your favorite, mom or dad?
Nah, they play a different role. Like I can't say mom or dad. Like my dad would be a favorite in a certain zone, and mom would be a favorite in a certain zone. It's not an overall favorite. So I'll know when to ask mom and when to ask dad.
Who's your favorite your celebrity or your number one celebrity in South Africa? And have you met them?
South Africa.
Because you are there now. You can meet celebrities, right? You can.
Nah.
The next thing you'll be in Joburg playing, and then people will be coming and watching. Don't worry.
My favorite
If you wear in these
celebrity
colors, you
is-
should be able to meet.
Is Wade van der Keer,
Yeah.
and he's meeting.
You have met him. I expected someone from Hocky, but it's
Nah.
alright. What's invincible, but you wish people could see? It's invincible, but you wish people could see. It could be your personality. Like you just said, maybe that you
I wish it was like my heart.
your heart.
Yes, like when people are actually like when they're nasty to you, or when they're actually really good to you, that they could actually see the effect that it has on you.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
sometimes your emotions or your like, especially with me, like they don't really like you could say something to me, but my facial expression couldn't really have the right meaning to it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I understand. The funniest moment you've ever been in and still makes you laugh until today?
Funniest moment. Yeah.
Well, mine, let me tell you about mine. It makes me laugh until today. Well, I don't know if I should tell you. I don't know if it'll make you laugh because I told you my pranks go wrong. So at my church, there's the thing that if you want to have a meeting, if you're from outside, even if you're from inside church, you would like to have a meeting with the youth, and you should for like more than 2 hours, you should bring at least food for them, something, snack or something. And then there was a guy who wanted to speak to the youth. He wanted to speak to the youth. And then he had like those mine heads. You see them, makarapas. I don't know what you call them in English. So those safety things. So he wanted to talk to the youth, and then the person who was in charge, he said, no, you will only be able to have a meeting with the youth once you provide food for them, because we've held them here in church now for more than an hour.
Yes.
And then so if it goes to 2 hours and beyond, you'll have to provide food. He went to his head and he came with raw potatoes. So the funniest thing here for me was, what was he thinking? Are we gonna cook now those potatoes? It was potatoes. Where does he get potatoes? How come
Yeah.
do they get?
How
Do
do
you
you
end up
get
with?
to the
So
potatoes?
that's like my moment. Do you think you remember one moment?
Funniest moment. I've got actually like a lot of funny moments. It's like this is so on the spot. Oh, I think one of my funniest moments, excuse me, has been like one of my pranks actually
Yeah.
with my mom. Like, so I put earphones in her ears. I actually listened to it last night again. So put earphones in her ears, and I played the music really loud, and then I mime the word to her, and she basically needs to give the word, like she needs to try and get it right.
Oh yeah.
So I'll like say the word, like I'll be like golden necklace, and then she needs to give the word to
The
me.
word, yeah.
So we were like 100 times on the golden necklace, but she never got to. She like rose golded us, like it was never there. So yeah, that was really a funny moment for me, and it was like a highlight because she was just laughing most of the time because she couldn't get it in.
Yeah.
I think my mom is frustrated when she can't get things right. So yeah.
The golden necklace.
Yes.
What's that one called? The Olympic necklace.
Ah.
Did you all get that, or you got that in Japan?
No, it was a gift to the team from the coach.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna be a coach one day?
Nah, I don't enjoy
You
coaching.
definitely. NW will be watching you. They cannot grab you from
No,
someone.
I don't
You are the
enjoy
captain
it.
now.
I don't enjoy coaching.
32 32 years, when you'll be, well, 10 years from now, 33, you'll be the coach. Do you fart?
That's like, what question is that?
I want to ask, where was the most
Embarrassing time for me.
yeah place that you had to
Actually, in a team talk, you know. So everyone was huddling, and now it feels like it's that time. And obviously, you need to like let it go like really softly, or you need to
Yeah.
like get away from the team
Yeah.
and go there for. But yeah, that is the one. But I've had like someone also did team. Yeah, she always said it needs to come out, so she would fart in team talk. So I maybe need to get that attitude.
No, man. Yeah. No, thank you very much for hosting us. Well, thank you for hosting us. Thank you for hosting me. It was a great it was a privilege to be having you. We hosted you into our show, and you hosted us into your very beautiful home. So we would like to thank you very much. Thank you very much to all of you who have watched this show up until this far. We would like to ask you humbly to remember to subscribe, to like, to comment, and ask questions, and anything. Also hit the notification button. From Archieworth Love and from Charne, we'd like to thank you until we see you again next week Sunday. Likewise, ciao ciao.
bantu abadala ngicela nisibonise indlela yabona kumnyama kuyathusa thina soyikulahleka bantu abadala ngicela nisibonise indlela